Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Dan. And today, I'm still continuing my Disney movie marathon by reviewing one of the live action films. And that movie is 101 Dalmatians. Yep, the live action remake. Yep, you heard me. I'm reviewing a remake. And we all know I really don't like remakes. And that's what I'm going to be reviewing here, folks. Oh boy. Regardless of what species of animals this movie is going to be focused upon, this would have ultimately been a bad movie anyway. If it's cats, if it's kangaroos, uh, chimps, it doesn't matter. This movie would have been terrible, regardless of what the animal species is. Oh boy. So pointless. So pointless. Anyway, as always, let's just talk about the plot of this movie. Oh boy, let's get over with. So anyway, this movie is supposed to be like a comedy kind of thing that's focused on this video game designer. So yes, it tries to be charming, it tries to be cute and whatnot, but it doesn't really work really. Anyway, it does attempt to be focusing on these dogs. So yeah, anyway, like I was attempting to say here, is that the American video game designer individual Roger does live with his pet, of course, in London. One day, let's just say that he does set his eyes on this beautiful female dog, and let's just say that this is basically where the romantic stuff happened. The two human characters and the two dog characters like each other. And this just feels contrived. It comes off goofy, and this section of the story of the film does go on way too long. I never got a sense of the chemistry with the animals nor the human characters. It was just supposed to believe that they just fall in love right then and there. So the lady woman is like a fashion designer, I guess. But of course, just like in the animated version, their lives are threatened because of the fact that evil Cruella DeVille is up to no good. So she does plan to steal the puppies in order to make some sort of fur coat. So, of course, that's basically what the plot is setting up, I guess, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. That's like me going after my cat Rocky specifically, even though there's plenty of other cats in the world, and just go after him specifically. No others, just him, and only him, just for some unknown reason. See, once you start thinking about this, it really doesn't make any sense actually. So, not that I'm promoting animal abuse or anything, of course. Just trying to make questions out of this, folks, because this entire thing really doesn't make any sense. The love story, if you want to call it that, it feels forced. So the human characters and the dark characters found love after some sort of chase, which was done in a really goofy manner, of course. Yes, I understand this was supposed to be a family movie, but no excuses. So when it comes to love stories, it really felt flat here, folks. Story in this film came off way more genuine and way more honest because despite their age difference and despite their different personalities, they wanted to make it work. And so the chemistry between those characters came out far more interesting than the love story in this film. And yeah, I felt like even the villain character did not come off all that cool or interesting for that matter. She just came off like a lunatic. I mean, on that level, it didn't seem interesting or whatnot. And yeah, just making a character crazy for its own sake is not interesting. And again, case in point, this character can be considered as crazy to some degree, but she had a much more interesting story and whatnot compared to this film. So yeah, folks, nothing here really works. This was supposed to be a comedy, mind you, and there was nothing funny. There was nothing funny at all. So yeah, I wasn't really interested in this film, folks. I've heard about this when this film originally came out. But I didn't care. I could have seen this in the movie theaters, but I really didn't care. I really didn't care. Yeah, so I finally eventually watched it when it was on TV, of course. But turning this into a 2 hour or nearly 2 hour film was not a good idea. It feels padded. It feels it was being stretched. The original animated film had a really simplistic story, and that's a problematic for itself because if it worked for the animated movie, doesn't mean it's going to work for the live action version. So yeah, folks, I really did not like this movie at all. I didn't like the story. I didn't like how everything fit, I guess, because it felt contrived. It felt really contrived just to push things forward. The dialogue wasn't all that good and whatnot. I know some people will be telling me that, hey, it's a kids movie. And that's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. Just because it's a kids movie does not mean it should excuse garbage like this. Kids movies should be held in a high standard as well. So yeah, folks. And I did not like this movie at all. Really, it felt sloppy. If anything, it felt boring. It felt really, really boring. This has to be one of the most boring remakes I've seen. I've seen quite a few boring remakes already. So yeah, I really did not like this, folks. I really did not like how this was presented, the characters and the overall premise. Oh look, it's Mr. Monkey. How many times do I tell you I don't want to buy you these awful movies? Just, just go on, yeah, go on, yeah, get out of here, get out of here, little monkey. Leave me alone. Even the music for this film didn't work at all because it felt like it didn't have that much effort in it, really. So I know this was supposed to be one of those light-hearted type movies and whatnot, which doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing per se, but I didn't get really any sense of conflict or anything. I know I'm supposed to care for these characters and whatnot, but I ultimately never did. If anything, it was just annoying, and it was boring. Annoying and boring. That's not a good combination at all. So, honestly, folks, I never want to see this again. Once was just good enough. But then again, watching it even once, it's it's still terrible because I want my time back. I really want my time back from watching this. Well, I do have the disc right here, folks. Okay, here we go. Yeah, don't forget. Lousy, lousy movie. There you go. Okay, that should do the trick, folks. Going all the way through. Yeah, there you go. Well, anyway, folks, I'll give this an overall rating of a 4.8 out of 10. It's a 4.8 out of 10 for me. And as always, thanks for watching and take care. Until next time, see ya. Oh yeah.